Hey y'all, it is Leanne, Small Town Stitches, and I'm back for my January Flosstube update. I was gonna give today's date, but I'm not really sure, honestly. It's Saturday, I'm not at work. I think it's the 25th. So I figured I'd pop in here. I have a couple minutes. It's really dark and gloomy and drizzly outside, so I have been to the grocery store. My hands are actually kind of stained from cutting carrots. Went to the grocery store. I've been doing laundry. I haven't done cleaning yet. I went to the cross stitch store. We'll talk about that. So let's talk. Not a lot else going on. We're still down to one vehicle. We found out officially, my husband dug into it, that my motor is blown on my car. So we're trying to figure out financially, do we try and buy a used car or try to sell it as is and talk to the bank, and or do we buy a new motor? So that's about all. Everyone is still healthy. Everyone's good. There's not much of an update for January, so that's actually pretty good though. So, but yeah, that's a short life update for me. I have a ton of stitching. So, long story extremely short, I used to be on anti-anxiety medicine. I will never take them ever again. If you need them for you, I am 100%, what's the right word? I am 100%, in support of you and getting them and stuff. It does not work with me and my body. As in, it turns me into a zombie, and I'm not good in doing that, because when you are a zombie and you have no way of showing emotion, you also don't care about anyone's emotions because you can't process emotion, so it can lead to some stupid and bad decisions. It's just not good for me. So I have found that a way I deal with anxiety is to stitch when I have it. So lots of progress on top of my goals being met. So that's about it for me. Let's talk stitching. We're only 2 minutes in, so hopefully this video won't be super long today. So I follow Jen Lee. I think it's Quirks and Stitches here on Flosstube. I follow her acrostics that she puts out. Now, she did put a planner out. I've been trying to watch budgeting a little bit. So I chose a different way of doing it, and it works really well for me. So what I do is, she still prints them, even if you don't want to buy the planner. On the 24-hour cross stitch Facebook group, you can print out the acrostics and still participate in everything. So this is what I do. I made this as the cover of mine. It's just 24-hour cross stitch monthly goals in acrostic. And I'm gonna move this so I can show you guys. I'm also participating in Stitch from Stash this year. We'll talk that later. So I put some, goals and stuff over here. And then I moved like October, November, December to the back because it's not really important right now because it was last year. So here's my January acrostic. And then what I do is I print a calendar on the back side like this. And every day I write what piece I'm working on and how many stitches I've done. I've actually started doing that so I can figure it out. So I can say on this day and this day I stitched on this and stuff like that. So we'll do that. So let's do the acrostic. So the January acrostic is Ready, Set, XS, exclamation point. So there's 11 pieces that we can plug into that. You can choose 11 pieces, you can choose one piece and tie it in, whatever. And then you can either do goal stitching, which is to pick like a certain motif or whatever. You can do your tracking time, which you can do in 24, 240, which is 4 hours, or 480, which is 8 hours, or you can track your stitches, which is what I do. And you can track them in blocks of 120, 480, or 1200. All of my pieces that I'm tracking are at least a 1200 goal. And just as a heads up, I have hit every single one of them. So let's start at the beginning. My first for the R is going to be Halloween Quaker by Lila Studios. For those who aren't familiar, let me pull it out. I'm pretty sure everyone has seen this because it is not a new piece, but I will show you, and it looks like this. I'm doing this on a piece of 16 count Haunted, and I don't ever say 16 count. I'm doing this on a piece of 16 count Haunted with all the called for floss and fabric. Two things you don't hear me say very often: 16 count and called for floss and fabric. So I'm going to go ahead and insert a picture of where this piece was when you guys last saw it right here. All right, so let me fold so you can see where this piece is now. I can't fold in half because I'm over half done. This is where it is now. I really like the way this is turning out. I still have that bottom piece to do, but I figured I'd do all the top stuff first and then do the bottom. So I concentrated more over here. I did this little one, finished this motif, finished the cat, or no, it's not a cat, it's an owl. I did this one, and then I started, this is almost done. I got 2.5 cats left to go. So the goal on this piece was 1,200 stitches. Like I said, I'm not going to say that every single time because what's the point, because they all had 1,200 stitches. But I ended up doing, let me pull it out. This is what's cool. I can tell you exactly how many stitches I did on everything. The end count for this was 1,490. I worked on it 2 days. Yep, that was all done in 2 days. I stitch a lot. I know I do. And I'm okay with that because I still hold down a full-time job and I still take care of my family. So that's that piece. It's really cool being able to track your stitches like this because I can tell you exactly how many stitches I did on each project. All right, next in line we have the Lord's Prayer, and this is by, I can never remember, it came as a kit, Design Works. Looks like this. It came with a 14 count piece of white Aida. I am not using it. It also came with the threads, which were like a dark, like a puke green color and a puke, well, I'm not using those either. This is all my own color conversion. And I'm going to insert a picture of where this piece was the last time you guys saw it, right here. I got quite a bit done. I stitched on this piece the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 6th, and ended up with 1,444 stitches, and this is where it is now. Lots of progress. So this is a piece for my parents. The gray is Victorian Motto. There's 2 different grays I'm doing, and the purple is, hold please and I will tell you. Bellflower by Color and Cotton. So that's where that piece is now. I actually need to find a work piece. I'll explain to that, but this one may come back out. The goal is to give this to my parents for Christmas this year. So that was number 2. Like I said, every piece is at least 1,200 stitches. So next on line, the A was Wicked Witch by La Di Da. Let me see. I don't remember where I put, there it is, which is this one. This doesn't have called for because it just comes with, actually it does have called for. It calls for, they used needlepoint silk. I didn't use silk, or you could use DMC. I didn't use DMC, I made my own. I used Victorian Motto sampler, and it was the darkest Goblin Cloak and the lighter one is Eerie Fog. This is stitched on an 18 count piece of from To Die For Fabrics. I do not know the name because To Die For Fabrics doesn't name them. They just throw them up and you buy them and scratch, like, so it's just a rustic looking color. This is where this piece was last time. This is my only piece that did not get 1,200 stitches, and there's a reason why. The total amount on this piece was, I'm trying to look, I beg your pardon, 1,016 stitches because I finished it. I have a finish, first finish of 2020. And I'll bring it in so you guys can see it. Me. So yeah, that's like true to color right back here. It's tiny, like I have small hands, but it's like 3 fingers across. It's gonna be very tiny. I'm not sure how I'm going to finish this, because it's so small, but it'll go right here in my craft room. So that was piece number 3. The next is my long dog samplers, which is crossword. I think of Andrea every time I say that now, which looks like this. I think this piece may be one of the smallest long dogs, either that or I don't know if it's just like the stitching that gets people, because this piece is only 6 pages long. Mine's, I'm not going to show you, mine's thicker here because I make a working copy of my pieces, because on this especially I cross it off and then I throw it away when I'm done. So I'm not doing it to the actual pattern. But I'm on page 3 already. I only got to finish this and keep a going. This is stitched on a piece of 18 count, and I don't remember the name, in by Color and Cotton, and it's stitched with gassed Otter Creek floss. So the ending stitch count for this one was 1,489. This is where this piece was the last time you guys saw it, right here. And this is where this piece is now. So this is, I believe I have to do the end over here, but this is pretty much as wide as it's gonna be. And I'm looking forward to it. So if you look real closely, there's I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a little bit of variegation in this green. I really like it. This is probably gonna go downstairs in our family room or something when it's done. There's little hearts on this piece. I think there's 2 of them, and I'm actually converting the color from just what color you stitch it in to my husband and our daughter's favorite color. So there'll be a blue one and a orange one. Okay. Next we have Graveyard Halloween. This is by Stony Creek. This poor pattern is a little beat up from me carrying it everywhere. That's this piece right here. I think it is originally charted in DMC 4015 Stormy Sky. They have a bunch of different colors it actually calls for. I'm doing it all monochromatic, and it's in Midnight Teal by Victoria Motto, and then my floss is an 18 count by Color and Cotton, and I am not sure what it's called because I didn't write a lot of this stuff down. We'll talk about that too. So this is a piece of where my Graveyard Halloween was last time, right here. This piece got 1,118 stitches, and this is where it is now. I just did this. I concentrated right here. So I have the moon up above, a little bit over here, and this piece is not too far off from being finished either. So a lot of my pieces are getting to the point where they're almost done. And then I have to start new stuff, but like I said, I need to start finishing things. I need to start going to like thrift stores and getting frames for cheaper so I can work on finishing things, because I have a pile of finishes over here. This isn't all finishes. A lot of them are. And I needed to finish things because I would like to get them displayed in my house and in my craft room and stuff instead of just in a pile that needs to get finished. All right. Next is my Linen and Threads 2017 Mystery Sampler. I really want to start the 2020. I think I may soon, but I got to figure out what thread I want. I was looking at DMC Variations and I think I may use one of those. So this piece ended up getting 2,155 stitches. It's on a piece of 18 count Country Mocha. And the thread that I'm stitching it in is Galactic by Coloring Cotton. This is where this piece was last time, right here. And here we go. This is where it is now. This is as wide as it's gonna be right here. My goal is to try and finish the January block from the 2017. I did not finish, I got burnt out. I think it was from stitching the same thing over and over and over and over, because as like you saw, I did all of this one and then started on that one and I was done. I couldn't stitch anymore, I needed a break. So we still got like 6 days left in this month. It's on a giant piece of fabric. We still got 6 days left in this month, so we'll see what ends up getting done for the remainder to fill my time, because I'm done with my acrostics. So there's that one. Then we have Frozen by Donut Stitch. This one ended up getting 1,243 stitches. I need to concentrate on this one too, so maybe this will be one of my focus pieces, I don't know. This is stitched on an 18 count white Aida, and the floss is, I followed, some of them are called for the DMC, some of them I went through and substituted some Victorian Motto sampler that was really close to them. So this is where this piece was when you guys last saw it, right here. And I can see a huge difference in this piece. I don't know, but here's where it is now. I finished all of this one color and outlining it. I do color at a time on this piece. And then I started filling in with blocks. So this is page 5, I think. So I have one more page over here and then the bottom row, and then I'll be done. So my daughter loves this piece. She loves that she can see Sven and Olaf now. And I'm gonna have to look for some more donut stitch ones for her room. And she also thinks that everything I stitch needs to be hers. She's gonna be 5 next month. So that is that. Okay, I need to make some project bags. I need to make them a little bit bigger for all the stuff that I put in them and the amount of fabric that I put in them too. All right, so next we have 'Twas the Night by Sue Hillis. This piece ended up getting 1,289 stitches. It is stitched in Sullivan's floss. I personally don't recommend, I don't like them, but you live and learn. I've never stitched it before. This is the pattern. I'm not doing the border, I'm just doing the wording. This is where this piece was last time you guys saw it. This is where the piece is now. I'm almost done. It's looking really, really good. So there's 2 different greens used in this, and I believe it's 2 different reds. And then if you look real closely, it's stitched on an 18, it's an opal, not an opalescent, but it's a Zweigart brand, but it's the actual like flake, the gold flake in it or whatever that comes. So I think what I'm gonna do first is I'm going to finish this piece. all I have left to do is I'm right here. So I have just this and that's it, and I will be done. So I'm gonna concentrate on this piece next. This is the piece that's gonna go to work with me. May as well leave it out, even though I don't have to go back till Monday. What's the point of putting it away? So that was that one. Next is Halloween Night by Tilton Crafts. I ended up getting 1,324 stitches on this piece. I'm gonna have to insert a picture of the actual piece because I left my binder downstairs and I forgot it. So I'll insert a piece of the actual, what it'll look like when it's finished, and then I'm going to insert a picture of where I was last time for you guys right after that. All right. This is stitched on a 20 count if my stuff stops falling in here. And this is where this piece is now. So I got a lot done. I'd like to try and finish this so it can be solid, so that way each time I stitch it's like another one, but I don't know. I have other plans too, so I'll talk about those, but we'll see. I'm happy. 1,300 stitches, over 1,300 stitches on my full coverage. So as you can see, we finished page 1, we're on page 2. Only like 30 something more left to go. I didn't take this one off my Q-snap. Oh well, I'll just show you guys anyways. Next is gonna be Liberty Lane by Country Cottage Needleworks. This piece ended up getting 1,259 stitches. This is the piece. I was gifted this by Leslie Hurley. I am doing the Priscilla color conversion. It's on her blog. I'll try to link it below. And this is on a piece of just 18 count coffee tea dyed fabric. This is where this piece was when you guys last saw it. 1,200 stitches on this really adds up really fast because this is where we're at now. As you can see, so I moved the Q-snap so everything over is what you guys saw last time, and it's crooked in the thing. I can't ever get this to lay right. So I've almost done with this house. I got to do the roof. I started this one. I started the rest of the banner. That's as wide as the banner goes. And I ran out of blue floss right when I was working on the E. So I just got to finish that last little leg right down there. So there you are. Like I said, a lot of my pieces are coming to an end. I'm gonna have to end up with a bunch of new pieces here shortly. Okay. Last one. So my last one was a new start, and it actually was a bit of haul, so I'll talk about that too. So this piece was this piece bought before or after? I made 2 orders through 1, 2, 3 Stitch. This piece was purchased before. This one was before. This was before I ended up buying my pattern that I wanted from Ink Circles. I've been thinking about, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry, but it's this. So this is what it looks like. That's the name of it. I don't want to butcher it. It looks super overwhelming. It's only 6 pages long. And the actual pattern is kind of big. In the actual to read, it's really easy to read. I'm not gonna lie. So this was my last piece of my acrostic. So I was like, oh, I can focus on it for a while. If I would have done the only 1,200 stitches, this piece would have been done on Wednesday, the 22nd, but I continued it all the way to Friday. This piece got 3,365 stitches on it. Yep. So I chose to do this piece in DMC 550. That's what I'm stitching it in. So there is no before and after piece on this one. I'll just show you. I already have a page finish. Yep, totally do. This is my fabric I'm doing this on. This is also from To Dye For Fabrics. It's not named. It was just one of her like random grabs that she posted on that she was trying to get rid of. I think it's ice dyed and it's amazing. Like I messaged Michelle Bendy when it came out and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do this project on it. What should I do it in? And she's like, I don't know, DMC 550? Yes, 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 yes. So, like I said, I already have a page finish. You ready, y'all? Here we go. I love this. This piece is so much fun to stitch on because every single one is different. And it's one color, so it goes quick. This is already one page. It's 3 pages across, 3 pages down. So I'm gonna have fabric left over too. So, and I made a working copy, so I cannot wait to get this on my wall in my craft room. Yes, 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 yes. That's my stitching. That's my stitching. I've done a bunch. I haven't actually sat down and figured out the numbers, but actually I did. I was talking to Suzanne, I think it was last week, when we tallied up my numbers, and it was, Susanna, what was it? It was like over 11,000 stitches. And I think that was before I did the ink circles piece. So yeah, I've done a lot of stitching this month. And nope, you won't hear me apologize. So I'll continue on. So what I've decided to start doing, I'll show you guys. On the bottom of my calendar, see I have a bunch of days left. I write what I finished and I write how much it was for my Stitch from Stash. And then on over here, I just started writing things down for my finishes. For my finishes and listing what piece it was, by who, what the stitch count was, when it was finished, and then my count. So I'll explain to you Stitch from Stash. It's a group on Facebook that you can join, and the goal is to try to stitch stuff from our stash, but you also get a budget. So your clubs, floss, fabric, whatever, do not count against you because they started before this did. But like I gave myself a $25 goal every month. So I still have $25 that I technically could spend every single month. But for like my, where did I put it? This piece, I'll just show you. So for Wicked by La Di Da, Wicked Witch, I'm gonna rest my hand on my head. It was a $14 finish because of the stitch count, based only. But then I got a 10% extra bonus for it being specialty floss. So Victorian Motto, Coloring Cotton, Gentle Arts, Weeks, Classic Colorworks, anything that's not just straight like DMC, that's costs more, counts as specialty floss. So I got $1.50 or $1.40 extra for it being specialty fabric, and then for it being specialty floss. So it was a $16.80 credit. Now, let's talk budget. I'm already over. But that could change by the end of January, because if I finish that Christmas piece, it will put me in the positive. So, now is it actual money you're playing for? No, it's not. But it's just that goal to try to stay in. So, let's talk clubs first. Yes, I said clubs. I pulled back on Trisha's club for right now, the nest egg, because of the fact that I am getting a lot. So the only club I have still going right now is my Color and Cotton club through Trisha at Threads Entwined. They come like this. They're in alphabetical order. Words are failing me today. So this is December's. This is December's. January will be here Monday. So that's this one. So that's my first club. My second club, I joined, it's also a Facebook group. It's Dying for Cross Stitch. This is different the way she does it. I'm part of her Fabrics of the Month as well, but she posts them on Facebook. She gives you like so many days to say, you know, whatever fabric count you want. She posts a picture of the color and then she invoices you and ships it out, which is kind of cool because if for some reason it's just not a color you're going to stitch on, then don't buy it. But it counts as a monthly club. So of course I got an 18 count Aida. It's the January Fabric of the Month. I think it's just a regular fat quarter. You ready? It's bright. This is totally Jen's fault. Jen Upton, this is your fault if you watch this. So it's red. It is so freaking pretty. I'm going to have to do a Christmas piece on this. What? I don't know. I was looking at doing a couple different Christmas pieces on regular fabric with like red floss or whatever. So I think I may just have to switch that up or something, but I'm thinking of doing this for a Christmas piece. It's so freaking pretty. So pretty. So that's my Fabric and Floss of the Month. So those don't count against my Stitch from Stash budget. And her fabric is super reasonably priced. Super reasonably priced. So that's to put away. So the other thing I bought before, right? Yes. The other thing I bought when I bought my Ink Circles piece before January started was stuff, floss and fabric that I had in mind. Now I know the name of this floss because I watched Christine from Stitch All the Things. And this is Threadworks. It's 1089, but it's called Bleeding Heart. And I know that. Thank you to Christine, because this is where I got the inspiration to use this floss. And I bought them in the, I believe it's 20 yards skeins. So they look like this. I bought two. I'll probably have some left over. And I bought an 18 count white opalescent fabric. These two are going to be used together. I already have an idea, and I'm going to kit it up. It's actually going to go back in this bag together. And the piece that I'm going to do with this is Merry Noel by Sue Hillis. This is going to be on here. I'm super excited. I think it's going to look really good. It was exactly why I bought that. I'm not joking. So that goes, it's all kitted up now. It's ready to be started. Now here's where my Stitch from Stash got derailed. So I told you, let's show you. So Kathy, who does my Fabric of the Month, she also does floss. And I was trying to think of what I wanted to do when I bought this piece and how I wanted to do it. I'll show you. I saw it. I fell in love. Susanna bought it as well. It's called A Quaker Christmas by Bygone Stitches. And it looks like this. We have a plan to start this in February. It's going to be our new start. So I bought this, and I bought an 18 count piece of Heartland Aida by Picture This Plus to do it on. And then Kathy posted, like the beginning of January, right after I said, you know, yes to my Fabric of the Month, she posted floss she dyed. And they're in 50 yard skeins, and I totally bought two. And it's a dark brown. So I have that. And then I went through for the other two colors. There's a red in here and there's a gold. And I picked from my stash. So I'm going to use Victorian Model Sampler Scarlet Orange and Golden Ale from Color and Cotton. So this is going to be my color palette for this piece. If I can get floss to lay right. Here you go, Susanna. Here's my color palette. That red is not that bright. In real life, it's darker. So that's my color palette for this piece, and I'm super excited. You're getting a glare from my glasses. I'm sorry. This is all going to go back in this bag, so it's already together, because we're going to be starting this next month together. I've been battling headaches pretty bad lately, so I can't take my glasses off because I'm not dealing with it. I'm gonna put it in my bag. Okay, so then I went to Stitches and Things today, and I got a couple things. So Susanna gifted me a gift card. Super, 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 super sweet of her. One of these pieces is my daughter's. She wanted a floss, and I don't remember which one it was. I think it's this blue one right here. She wanted it and picked it out. She was so good when we went grocery shopping. So I bought 4 skeins of Otter Creek because I was out, or I had like one more left, so I needed those. So I bought those and all this DMC, including my daughter's, and I spent $2.26 thanks to Susanna's gift card. So I got that. What am I gonna do with that? Y'all, I'm gonna restart something I started a while ago, and I'm super excited. Husband, if you're watching this video, you need to shut this off now. I'll talk to you in a few minutes. Seriously, shut it off. Okay. If you're watching still, it's your own fault. I'm telling you. So my goal is to try and stitch this for my husband. This was the original thing years ago when I started this piece. Back when I started my Flosstube channel, which was like 2 to 3 years ago. But I wasn't ready to start full coverage. And from doing my Halloween night piece by Tilton Crafts, I'm loving, loving full coverage. So I had got this piece as a PDF, and I had stitched the first piece. Well, I didn't like the way it turned out and stuff. I wanted to start over because I had an idea. So I contacted Michelle, who is the owner of Heaven and Earth Designs of Hade. She resent it to me so I could print the first page out, which is amazing. So what am I talking about? It's in black and white, y'all. Sorry. I think I have a color one. I do. I have a color one. It's this one. This piece right here is what I'm going to start. I'm doing the mini. It is Hometown Hero Firefighter. I'm doing the mini, like I said. It's charted by Michelle, but the artwork is by Donna Gelsinger. It's 16 pages, but I can claim each page as a finish and Stitch from Stash, which is cool too. So I went through last night. Like I said, I have the black and white. I went through last night and got it all ready and went through and highlighted and checked off which ones I had, and then in green was which ones I needed. So I used my gift cards wisely and got the rest of my floss that I need to start this project. So I'm going to wind these up when we're done, and I'm starting this tonight. So there's that. The only thing I have done is I don't like stitching on white, and I have come to find out from stitching on the other one, I don't like stitching on pre-gridded fabric. I find it a pain in my butt, and I find it difficult to follow. So what I did is I coffee dyed my gridded fabric already that I had, so I didn't have to buy anything because I wanted something tan, because I figured it would work well. And I just coffee dyed it, and all the lines came out because it was boiling water. So this is the fabric I'm going to do it on. It's just coffee dyed, no tea, just coffee dyed, and then I hung it up to dry, so it's all... I'm not going to need this whole entire piece, so I need to go through and measure and cut down and sew the ends so it doesn't look all frayed out. So that's my goal tonight. So when my daughter falls asleep, my goal is to start stitching it. So let's talk budget. So I have a $25 budget that I gave myself from Stitch from Stash. Christmas Quaker, that Christmas Quaker piece, the fabric for it, the floss that I bought from Kathy, plus the $2.26 that I had to spend today, put me in the negative by $51.82. My dog's barking. So minus my $25 budget, that put me negative $26.82. Hold on. So my finish, which was $16.80, put me in the negative by $10.02, technically for January. So if I finish that Christmas piece, it will put me in the positive, and we'll be doing great. So that's about it from me. I'm gonna go take care of this mess, start winding floss. probably get some dinner going because it's almost dinner time, and some laundry going, and stitch for the rest of the night after I edit this and upload this. So thank you for staying with me and my babbling. I know I'm not a professional like some people, but yeah, that's gonna be about it for me. Take care. I hope you guys had a great January, and we'll see what February brings. I'll see you guys later. Bye.